What's up, Lauren? Can you hear me? Okay, awesome. All right, you are first. We will plan on starting in 2 minutes tops.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Jesse.
These corn dogs are good. These corn dogs are good. Amazing, actually.
What's up? Yeah, just about. We are just about to start. All right. Happy Monday, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Kettlebell Mobility. I hope we all had a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday season. It is Lower Body Kettlebell Mobility Day, and it starts like it is any other Kettlebell Mobility Day. We're going to do about 10 minutes of a movement routine. So I'd like you to stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, a little bit of spring in the legs, lightly engage the core just enough to feel your hips kind of tuck. Stand up tall, shoulders down and back away from your ears with your arms at your side. We're going to start with our head, looking left and right. Down and up, look down and up. Next is going to be ear to shoulder, just tilting our head side to side. Now we're going to drop our head and do rolling neck circles. Good, good. Now go the other way. Nicely done. It is lower body day. We're not going to entirely skip our upper body, so I'd like you to raise your hands, palms down, do some fast and loose arm swings. Good, good. We're going to do side to side arm swings like this. I'm tapping my lower back with one hand. I'm tapping the opposite shoulder with the other one. I'm controlling this motion minimally. Very good. Palms together, arms forward. We're going to work our T-spine now. Trace along one arm, along your chest. Extend the arm, get long, bring it back, and repeat side to side 4 repetitions. Good. Now up and down. One hand crosses in front of my body, the other one goes overhead, and I'm extending my arms. Very good. Stand wide, grip your elbows, hinge at the hips, round your back, deflate your chest, and sway left and right. Good, good. Let your arms hang. Spinal wave up. Extend your spine at the top or puff out your chest. Usually the same thing. And we're going to do one more of those. Full swaying left and right. Good. Let your arms hang. Spinal wave up. Slowly. And once again, extend your spine at the top. Very nice. While we are standing wide, we're going to do Cossack Squats. We're going to do these later as well. You are going to keep one leg extended and go down towards the other one, stand, and then do the same thing on the other side. 5 per side. So I'm on my second per side right now. Good, good. Once you finish those, forward leg raises. You are going to balance on one leg, raise the other one with control, and lower it with control. Don't let your leg drop. Demonstrate command with a brief pause at the top and bottom. 5 per side. Very nice. And once you finish that, the final move in our mobility routine is ankle circles. Balance on one leg, 5 circles one way, 5 the other way on both ankles. And then it is time for our kettlebell, or kettlebells more likely. All of our swings are two-handed, but we do have a lot of one-sided stability work. We're also doing Turkish Get-Ups. So a few kettlebells may be in order. Certainly at least one kettlebell you feel very, very confident using. We'll give everyone a moment to do that. Get some water if you would like as well. Where did I put my water? You're doing math, no way. Sounds like a deal. All right. Moving on, our kettlebell warm-up is the same every time. So if you have tuned into this in the past, Lauren, you certainly have. You may begin as soon as you are ready. We are going to first, and like I said, everything's two-handed in terms of swings today, at least as long as you are in the learning phase here. Exercise 1 is the kettlebell hike. Exercise 2 is the power swing. That is a single repetition swing. Exercise 3 is unbroken swings. You're going to hike your kettlebell 10 times. You're going to do 10 power swings, and then you are going to do 20 unbroken swings. So for those of you who are learning as you're going, I will interrupt myself real quick and say that Lauren and I are going to move through today's workout pretty quick. By all means, please pause this video and take your time. There's no reason to rush yourself. In fact, I would say if you're trying to learn here, which whoever you are, you better be, you should take it slower. Learn the movement, know that you're doing it right. Don't be wondering whether or not something is the way it's supposed to go or not. If you spend enough time going slowly, feeling the movement, you'll know you're doing it right. Starting with this first exercise, this is the kettlebell hike. I'm going to get into my swing stance, which is my feet are a little wider than shoulder width apart. I'm standing about 1 foot behind the kettlebell. Your height will change how far behind the kettlebell you like to stand. I'm going to push my hands into my hips. I'm going to grip the kettlebell with 2 hands and tilt it towards me. And I'm going to pull it into my hips. Hike. That is the kettlebell hike. Once I've done that 10 times, I'm going to shake it off, leave my stance, return to my stance. The power swing builds off of that. From the ground up, it always starts with a kettlebell hike. So I get in that same position, building from that, and then back down. That is the power swing, a single repetition swing. The kettlebell, I pull it very actively into my hips. As the kettlebell starts to go down, I follow it and I extend my hips aggressively at the end. It floats up, it falls down, I catch it back in a hike, and I safely guide it to the ground. And then the final exercise builds off of all of that. Unbroken swings. Take it off, return to your stance. So there you have it. Those are the 10 hikes, the 10 power swings, the 20 unbroken swings. After we do all of our swings, we finish our warm-up with an exercise called the Turkish Get Up. If you've been moving along the whole time, you probably already started your get-ups, or you are just about to. The Get Up is a difficult move. It's many steps. It involves lying on the ground, pressing the kettlebell out in front of you, standing all the way up with the kettlebell pressed above you, and then getting all the way back to the ground. So that alone is relatively complicated. Allow me to demonstrate. Please, if you are truly getting the lesson out of this, I want you to rewatch my demonstration maybe 2 or 3 times. If you've already begun, then just a reminder, you're aiming to do about 3 per side. So, the Turkish Get Up. We're going to start with the kettlebell off to one side. Lying down, adjust my position slightly. I'm going to roll on my side towards the weights, grip it with that same side arm, and then I'm going to grab that hand with my free hand, roll it onto my body. I'm going to adjust so that you can see me a little bit better. I'm going to press the kettlebell up. Now I'm going to refer to a kettlebell side and a free side. I'm going to bring my kettlebell side foot very close to my hip and plant it firmly on the ground. I'm going to extend both my free arm and free leg at about 45 degrees. I'm going to drive through the hip. I'm going to press my elbow and heel of my free side palm into the ground and roll over onto that forearm. From here, I'm going to go up onto my palm, free side palm. This is the tall sit. I need to get into a kneeling position, so I'm going to, again, go up onto my kettlebell side foot and thread my free side leg under into the half kneeling windmill. I'm going to hinge back to get my hand off the ground and look forward. And stand all the way up. This is halfway. If this was difficult, you can end right here. But we need to retrace all of our steps to get back down. Free side foot back, onto the knee. Pivot that knee so I can hinge at the hips and get my hand back on the ground. Return to tall sit. Go down to my forearm, and then finally roll back onto the ground. Safely reverse press the kettlebell. Roll it off your body as you rolled it onto your body. Drag it over your head to the next arm and repeat. So that was a lengthy demonstration. That was one single get up, and what I asked was 3 per side. So if you required that lesson, doing 1 or 2 per side is going to be plenty. But Lauren, you're here right now. I'm going to give you another minute to finish. 60 seconds to wrap up, to get some water, and then I am going to go over phase 2, our primary training for the day. So do everything you need to do to get ready for my example. All right. Excellent start, everyone. This concludes phase 1, which is our warm-up phase. We are going to move into our actual phase 2, the workout phase. The format is always the same, at least it has been for a very, very long time. Phase 2 is split into 2 rounds, 2 equal rounds. They both consist of a combination of 6 movements and or exercises. The time for the format is going to be 30 seconds on, 20 seconds off. You will do every exercise twice before moving on to the next exercise. That format works really well because a lot of these exercises in particular are not going to alternate sides very well. You'll be doing just one side for 30 seconds, and you'll be okay doing that because you know as soon as you're done resting for 20 seconds, you're going to do 30 seconds of the same exercise you just did, but now on your other side. So if there's any confusion there, I think it will, you'll figure it out by the time I'm done describing round 1 of phase 2. So round 1 is, or exercise 1, is a kettlebell single arm heavy if you can Romanian deadlift, RDL is a high hinge deadlift. A high hinge is what you get into in your kettlebell swing. Try to mimic your kettlebell swing stance. What I am working on here is no rotation. In a single arm swing, which we're not doing today, we'll do later, we may do it later, a lot of people end up twisting like this. And that's not the end of the world, but it takes away a lot of the benefits you would get of anti-rotation. Anti-rotation builds a ton of core strength. So what we're looking to do here in our single arm Romanian deadlift is get into our hinge. So I'm standing over my weight. The handle is in between my ankle and the knuckle of my big toe. I'm going to get into my hinge. I'm going to lift it, and there will be no twisting. So what we want to look for is this. Am I lifting it like that or like this? So I advise you to keep both of your hands down. I'm lifting with this hand, and it's going to always be at the same height as the other one. Exercise 1. Exercise 2 is split squats. I'm going to stand very wide. I'm going to keep my back leg straight. The whole exercise here is testing out how much my forward ankle can flex. I want to stay upright. I'm not going to push into my leg. I'm going to have my hands at my side. Split squat. Exercise 3 is 2-hand kettlebell swings. You've done this already. Do it just like you did in warm-up. Exercise 4 is kettlebell back and side step-offs. We've been doing this one a lot lately. The whole priority of this exercise is stability of the working leg. Like the get up, the Turkish get up, I'm going to have a kettlebell side and a free side. So if the kettlebell is in my right arm, I am focusing on my right leg. My right foot will not move. I get my kettlebell up in the rack position. I'm going to step to the side with my free side leg. I'm going to step back with my free side leg. Both ways I'm doing this. I'm keeping my body weight over my kettlebell side leg. So I'm not stepping away from it, forward or back. That is not a very magnificent move. Small steps. Small steps will give you big results. Big steps may inhibit the big results. So think small. Exercise 5 is more 2-hand kettlebell swings. So we got swings, back and side step-offs, and then more kettlebell swings. And then finally, the 6th exercise is a single leg RDL. You can do this with your leg as straight as you want. You can try to do it bending your leg. The more you bend your leg, the more difficult it will be. So there you have it. Those are the exercises. Lauren, thumbs up? Sweet. Awesome.
Jesse, I just had one comment. The volume's a little soft.
I
Could
cannot
you,
hear you.
can you hear me now? I'm going to chat you really
Still can't
quickly.
hear you. You could write a little note, depending on how complex the question is. Okay. Oh, the volume is really soft. Okay.
Can you
Does
tell us?
this make it louder? Does that make it louder? Okay, sweet. Is it good volume now?
Yes. Yes, can you hear me? I was just going to see if you could tell me when the timer ends, but maybe that's not necessary anymore.
Can I tell us? Yep, totally. Thank you for the reminder. I definitely would have forgotten that today. So yes, you
Okay.
guys it will be total verbal cues for today. You will not be able to hear, or likely will not be able to hear, the timer going off. On that note as well, unless you want to just listen to yourself breathing while you work out, you might want to get some music. So I will get everything rolling, Lauren, as soon as you are ready. All right, ready to rock? Sweet. Exercise 1 is the single arm heavy RDL, as heavy as you have. 10 seconds. 5. Begin. Good, good. Feel the stability. It is possible to do this without being able to tell what hand the kettlebell is in. 2, 1, time. So really that's what I look for. When I'm talking about stability, I don't want to know which side is working the weights. I want it to look like you're moving totally equal through your entire body. 5 seconds, we're gonna do that exercise, kettlebell in the other arm, and go. Good, good, good. Well done. What's up, guys? Looking good, Lauren, very nice. Keep the wrists at the same height, keep the lats engaged. Time. Well done. Body weight exercise next is the split squats. Stand long. Don't bend the back leg. Focus on how forward you can get. And get ready. 5 seconds. 2, 1, begin. This exercise is all about stability of this knee, my working side knee. I want that knee to stay forward. I don't want it to dip in like that. The moment my knee is no longer tracing any of my toes, we run into a little bit of issues. 5 seconds. 2, 1, time. Good work. Shake that one off. You're gonna do the same exercise on the other leg now. And so far, so good. Nice start to our Monday kettlebell. 5 seconds. Let's get in position. 2, 1, go. More split squats. Very nice. Well done. Your first goal of the split squat is to be able to follow all of the guidelines and stipulations. Back leg straight, knee tracing the toes. And the first goal is for your knee to be able to go past your toes. Time. Good work. That's the end of the split squats. Exercise 3 is kettlebell swings. Kettlebell 2-hand swings. Like we did in warm-ups. Get ready. 2, 1, go. Good. Very good. The top of our swing is an upright plank position, just like you would be in plank on the ground. My core is tight. My lower back is not hyperextended. I'm standing upright. Shoulders are packed down. Arms out ahead. Glutes are definitely on. 2, 1, time. Good looking swings. Shake it off. 30 more seconds of swings coming up. 5 seconds. Begin. Beautiful swings. Well done, Lauren. 10 more seconds. 2, 1, time. Good, good. Next up is the back and the side step-offs. In my first demonstration, I used that same kettlebell I did for everything else. Really, I would use a much lighter weight for this exercise. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing this above 35 pounds. Get ready, 3, 2, 1, go. The kettlebell is in my left arm, so my left leg doesn't move. I step off with my right leg, and I step back with my right leg. Trying to keep my weight right over this leg. So if you can imagine your midline, the midline of your body is roughly nose to belly button for most people. I don't want to leave my midline. So if I'm standing with my nose and my belly button and there's a pole right in front of me, time, I want to stay in line with that pole. I want to go up and down it like that. In other words, I don't want to end up stepping away from it like that. I want to keep all of my weight over the working side leg. 5 seconds. Same exercise, other side. 2, 1, go. Very nice. Looks great, Lauren. Well done. Keep it up. 5 seconds. 2, 1, time. Good work. Shake it off. We have more swings, more two-hand swings coming up. 5 seconds. 2, 1, go. Good work. Only do excellent swings, everyone. If 30 seconds is a little too long for you to feel like you can still crush it, then just put the weight down. Do maybe sets of 10 swings. Meet yourself wherever you are. 5, 2, 1, time. Great looking swings, Lauren. Well done. We have 30 more seconds of swings. And then this is actually the last 30 seconds of swings we will be doing in phase 2. But do not fear. Phase 3 is in fact only swings. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, begin. Very nice. Very good. Focus on all those little steps. Get yourself into your deep hinge every time. Hinge when you need to be hinging. Try not to start going back from up here. The kettlebell is probably going to get way down below your knees if you do that. Time. If you guys do what Lauren did, you're doing good. Well done. The final exercise is the single leg RDL. Balancing on one leg. Focus, stability. Back and forth, side per side. Go. And actually, I take that back. You do not need to alternate sides, but you absolutely may. Very good, Lauren. Almost there. 2, 1, time. Shake it off. We're going to do the same exercise. So Lauren did it with a weight. You do not need to do it with the weight, but you are more than welcome to. It adds a little extra depth to the exercise. 5 seconds. 2, 1, go. Good. Keep up the good work. Only a few more seconds. 2, 1, time. Excellent work, Lauren. Take a breather, get some water, and I will go over round 2 here in, we'll say, 30 or so seconds. Not a very long rest. Just long enough for me to get a drink. Okay. Beautiful work for round 1. Lots of stability there. We are going to kind of follow a similar pattern here in round 2. Format is identical, 30 seconds on, 20 seconds off, 6 different movements and exercises. Do every one of them twice in a row before moving on. The first one, big time stability, is your single arm front squat. Another move you're seeing more and more in my class. Get your kettlebell up with one arm in the rack position. I don't want to know which hand is holding the kettlebell. When you squat, it's going to look the same, left side and right side, no matter what. So we're focusing totally on being stable there. The kettlebell in the rack position is in one arm. When you squat down, I want you to do it slowly. I want you to pause briefly at the bottom and rise. Look for anything. I'm going to look for, primarily when I do this, the kettlebell is going to want to find its way into the middle, one way or another. On the way down, you're going to lean in the opposite direction of the kettlebell. On the way up, you're actually going to lean into the kettlebell. So look for those little signs. Exercise 2 is the single leg squat negative. There are a million ways to do this. Well, not true, but there's one way that's definitely the easiest. It's kind of a back lunge. I'm going to do a back lunge, but I'm not going to actually plant my leg until I have to. You may not actually have to. Your test for this is please don't slam into the ground, but to see if you can actually get your knee to the ground behind you. So you're aiming to do the world's slowest back lunge, and if that is officially too easy for you, then you want to see if you can just tap your knee on the ground. So let's say you get to here, get up in whatever way is the easiest, and repeat. We're just focusing the negative. But by all means, if you're officially leveling up, try to do the full single leg squat. The third exercise is the Cossack Squat. The way we did it in warm-up. Stand wide. Descend one side, descend the other side. Like Lauren did with the single leg RDL, you can hold a weight when you do this. You can hold it with one or with two hands. Just make sure you're even on both sides. Exercise 4 is a goblet squat. Get the weight up, hold it with two hands, squat down and up. Goblet squat. Real simple. Then we're done with our kettlebell until phase 3. Exercise 5 is the wave unload. I have called this bear squat to spinal wave. Those are the two movements broken down, but our animal flow certified teacher taught me that it is called wave unload. So I am going to start in prayer pose. I'm going to elevate my knees into downward dog. I'm going to tuck my hips and round my spine into upward dog. I'm going to send the wave back. Drop my head, round my shoulders, bring my hips to my face. Now I'm back in downward dog. Now I'm back in my prayer pose, and I'll send the wave back. Wave unload. So also just a brief articulation for you guys. I've been describing exercises and movements. Goblet squat, most definitely an exercise. You do it with a weight, You do it for a purpose, to just be able to articulate on your own through movement your squat better, to be able to do the goblet squat heavier, to be able to do more of it. It's an exercise. It's got a very linear goal. A movement, wave, unload. The goal could be a million things. It could be because it's a fun move. It could be because your back is sore. Whatever. It could be literally 1,000 reasons. None of them have to be linear, and it could change every time you do it, making it a movement versus an exercise. That's my 2 cents on the subject. Exercise, the final one is the floor scorpion. I'm gonna lay down on the ground. I'm gonna bring one foot up and over to the other side, and I've got this speaker thing, so you guys are gonna do it to both sides, but I'm not gonna do it that way. Back and forth, floor scorpion. There you have it. The 6 movements and exercises of round 2. Lauren, any questions? Perfect. Get ready, get chalk if you need it. Round 2 starts with the single racked front squat. Practicing stability. I don't want to be able to tell which side has the kettlebell. 10 seconds, get ready. Get ready, 2, 1, go. Single arm front squat. Pause briefly at the bottom, unless you cannot. You may not be able to pause at the bottom and then rise without very much demonstrating stability issues. So goal 1 is stability. I don't want to be able to tell what side has the kettlebell. 5 seconds. 2, 1, time. Very nice. Goal 2 is command, to take command of your stability. If you can do this without me being able to tell which hand has the kettlebell, then do it slowly until you spot something unstable. And begin. Good, good. And just so the community knows it, what is a full depth squat? It is as soon as the crease of your hips meets your knees or exceeds that. This is a full depth squat. Another way to look at that is when your thigh or your femur bone is parallel to the ground. Time. That or anything under it is a full depth squat. Exercise 2 is the single leg squat negative. It is a very, very slow back lunge where you are practicing stability. 2, 1, go. Good. You may find that this is a very wobbly exercise in the beginning or even for a while, and that is okay. This is of the 12 moves and exercises we are doing in phase 2, this one probably takes the most physical and mental effort to do well. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, time. I'd imagine you probably just did that all on one side. So now you're going to do the same exercise on the other side. But if you were alternating sides, continue to do it that way. But Lauren, that looked really good. 5 seconds. 2, 1, begin. Good, good, good. One of probably what I use the most for myself, and when I do get 360 degrees of viewing someone else doing an exercise, is I look at the inside of their foot, of the working foot, because stability comes from your foot. That's where it starts. If the arch in your working foot collapses, time, then at least one angle, one very, very important angle of stability was also lost. So for you at home, check the arch of your working foot. Exercise 3 is the Cossack Squat. Stand wide, descend to one side, stand and descend to the other side. When I do this, oh, and begin. Sorry, it looks like you heard that. Both of my heels are on the ground. Neither of my heels ever rise up. That's a very common problem people have. But if you can get low enough, then you can also raise the toes of your non-working side. In fact, you have to get as low as I am here. Time. However, if you do have the issue of keeping your heel on the ground of your working side leg, I may advise you not exceed the depth until you would have to raise your toes. And that is 2, 1, begin. Because I see a lot of people when they do, the Caustic Squat can be an exercise and or a movement. You can follow every rule of a squat on your working side, or you can intentionally break a lot of them. It's very common that in the Caustic Squat, when you start to really get low, you put all of your weight on the inside of your foot. 5 seconds. 2, 1, time. And if you are doing that, understand the torque ratio on your knee just drastically changed. So if you put all the weight on the inside of your foot in a Caustic Squat, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to hurt you. 5 seconds to Goblet Squats. To Goblet Squats, begin. So back and forth, sorry. Back to what I was saying. If you're putting all your weight on the inside of the working foot, the ratio of torque to your knee versus your hip drastically changes. So just consider that when you are doing your Caustic Squats. It can be an exercise or it can be a movement. In a movement, there are far less rules in the way you should do something. In an exercise, be very strict with what the rules are. Time, good work. Shake that one off. And 30 more seconds of the Goblet Squat coming up. All right, you're kicking butt, Lauren. Keep it up. 3 seconds. Goblet Squat. Begin. Very good. Very nice. Good looking squats, Lauren. 9 more seconds, and then we're actually done with our kettlebell until phase 3. 2, 1, begin. End, sorry. All right, no more kettlebell. Exercise 5 is the wave unload. It begins in prayer pose. Hands above my head. Elevate my knees. Get into downward dog. Spinal wave. And begin into upward dog. And then send the wave back. Into downward dog. Do you have anything in here at 2? You do not? Cool. I'm gonna, okay. I'll be training Mary in here. 2, 1, time. Very nice. 30 more seconds of wave unload. Five seconds. 2, 1, begin. More wave unload. Very nice. Five, 2, 1, time. Very nice. The final movement of phase 2 is the floor scorpion. Lying on the ground, make a big T. One foot goes up and over to the other side. I want my knee towards the sky. And then I bring it back and I repeat on the other side. And begin, floor scorpion. Lauren is demonstrating the floor scorpion with an arm raise. The same leg that goes over your body, that side arm can rise up towards the sky. Really feels nice on the shoulders and opening up the chest. One of the many, many variations you'll see me demonstrate the more you attend this class. 2, 1, time. This is your final rest of phase 2. We have 30 more seconds of that, and then we are finished, and we will move on to phase 3. 2, 1, time. Sorry, begin. I don't usually do that. Now we see Lauren demonstrating the floor scorpion press. You press up into a position that should remind you of the tall sit from your get-ups if today was your first class. And if you've been coming for a while, that should look a lot like, and time. Interesting. Hey, Lauren, can you hear me? Yeah? Sweet. Okay. All right. Excellent. That, everyone, is the end of phase 2. Get some water. Meet right back here. We are a little tight on time. So, Lauren, it is the same phase 3 as always. 5 swings every 30 seconds for 20 rounds. So, everyone else is going to look a little weird. We're going to actually start this pretty promptly. I am going to discuss what is going on as Lauren is moving, and then what you'll do is you'll just restart with your own timer, or if you are relying on my timer, then you'll just rewind the video to where we started. So getting all set up for that, we are moving on to an on-the-minute style swing exercise. Rather than on the minute, it's going to be every 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds, you are going to do between 3 and 5 kettlebell swings. My idea here is two-handed swings. You're going to do 3 to 5 two-handed swings, and this is all about practice. So rather than moving for 30 straight seconds, you are going to move for only 3 to 5 swings every 30 seconds, and the rest of the time here will be your rest. So there we go. I'll give a little better angle of the timer right there. Lauren, are you ready to rock? All right, awesome. We are going to, we're going to begin in 10 seconds. So back to what I was talking about. What are we practicing here? 5, 3, 2, 1, begin. We are practicing definitely the setup and the set down of your kettlebell swings, because you're going to pick up and put down your kettlebell as many as 20 times. So you want to perfect that. You want that to be as strong as any unbroken swing you're doing. To master your swings, you must master your setup. 5 seconds, Lauren. 2, 1, go. Your mass from there, you're working on your breathing. So you've got your setup down. You know you're hiking it well every time from in front of you, and you are reverse hiking it to the ground. You may have heard a very distinct breathing pattern while I was going. Something like that. So Lauren, we've got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. That breathing, that is the best, the most functional biomechanical breathing method you can be doing here. I am inhaling as I go to my hips. In other words, I am inhaling into my high hinge position. I am forcefully exhaling at hip extension. 5 seconds. 2, 1, begin. That breathing forcefully is optimal. It is necessary in a good hard style kettlebell swing. I want to inhale forcefully through my nose. I want to feel that my core just tightened up as much as it reasonably should have for my kettlebell swings. When I exhale, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, begin. The exhale, I want it to be as forceful. If I exhale like that, my core deflates. I don't want to exhale in a way that deflates. I want to exhale in a way that kind of feels like a hiccup. It feels like I just hiccuped, and every time I breathe like that, I can feel my core and my abs just locks up. 5, 3, 2, 1, begin. So those are the biggest two things to be working on. There could be a million different things that you are working on specifically during this. So I'd say you're probably, if you've been listening to that the entire time, without actually moving, you're probably in a good position to begin. 5 seconds. 2, 1, go. Remember, if you're doing this on your own, without the timer that we're using, it's every 30 seconds. You will start your 3 to 5 swings at the top of every 30 seconds. Now, what I originally introduced this method to class so that everyone got a chance to use the heavy kettlebells. Swinging for 30 straight seconds, you don't want to pick up the 50-pound kettlebell all the time. 5 seconds. 2, 1, begin. But if all you have to do is swing the kettlebell as little as 3 times over and over again, that is the best opportunity to get comfortable with a heavier weight. So this is everyone's best chance at picking up the 50, 60, 70-pound kettlebells. And here are the little subtle warning signs. 5 seconds. 2, 1, begin. The subtle warning signs that may say stop. So if most of you cannot see the board that I'm looking at, but what is written is as many or equal to 20 rounds. But you will stop as soon as your swings do not feel perfect. So we are just about halfway done. This next round is going to be our 50% done. 5 seconds. 2, 1, begin. So after these swings, we're halfway done. And these subtle warning signs become important because in the hard style that I teach kettlebell, every swing needs to be your best swing. Your last swing needs to be as good or better than your first swing. As soon as you fatigue to the point of hindering your movement, you're losing a lot of these benefits. 5 seconds. 2, 1, begin. So here, because I do something like this at least once a week. I usually do it for at least twice as long as we're doing it for today. And what do I look for? Number one is I'm doing the same number of swings every single time. It's ending at roughly the same time. That's giving me the same amount of rest every single round. As soon as that rest is feeling like less and less and less, 5 seconds until it's finally not enough. 2, 1, begin. That is probably the most mature warning sign you can catch yourself at. If I'm starting to feel like in my next couple of sets, I'm no longer going to be swinging at the high level I have been this entire time, I'm going to stop before I actually get there. I don't want to go to failure. Success begets success. And likewise, failure begets failure. 5 seconds. 2, 1, go. So I'm going to cut myself off long before failure happens. The next one to look for is you may still feel like your heart rate can keep up with it, but you're noticing your swing is different. The kettlebell is either pulling you forward or you're leaning excessively back in your kettlebell swings. Getting pulled forward, leaning back. If either of those happen, 3, 2, 1, go. If either of those are happening, you are losing power in your hips. Your hips are exhausting. And that just means you're no longer doing a good hard style kettlebell swing. So if you notice that is happening, you've already gone a little too far. I would say that is the time to call it. As soon as you notice you're leaning back, which is more common than being pulled forward, that's it. That's time to call it. 5 seconds. 2, 1, begin. And finally, really, the only other one I would look for is if I am adjusting my grip at the top of my kettlebell constantly. It might happen once or twice just because you miss one little step somewhere here or there, and you have to adjust your grip. But if that's happening constantly, then what is happening is your grip strength is wearing out. And we definitely don't want to drop our kettlebell 5 seconds on our nice wood floors. 2, 1, begin. So if you are adjusting your grip constantly, take that as a warning sign that you're losing your grip strength, and ultimately you are probably going to lose your kettlebell. Now that has only happened once or twice in the 3 years I've been teaching kettlebell, but it is nonetheless very possible. So let's not meet our downstairs neighbors by sending a kettlebell through the ground. Let's not ruin our nice floors. 2, 1, go. Let's listen to the warning signs and do everything well. But at this point, we're getting so close to the end that if you've made it this far, you're probably going to finish up because we only have 3 rounds left, which is as many as 15 total swings. So anyone who's made it this far, excellent work. You are likely going to complete this entire thing. 5 seconds. 2, 1, begin. All right. Everything is looking great. Lauren, your swings especially look excellent right now. Keep it up. 5 seconds. 2, 1, go. All right. We have 1 round left. That is as many as 5 swings. And then we are finished with our Monday kettlebell mobility. 5 seconds. 2, 1, begin. And that is all she wrote, folks. That is the end of kettlebell mobility. Lauren, thank you for tuning in. Anyone who watches this later, please, if you have any questions, contact me. Leave anything that wasn't clear, please leave in the comments. It'll help me make these videos better. And enjoy your snowy Monday. See you later. Great work today,
Thanks,
Lauren.
Jesse.